If these reports are true, it looks like Bernie is done playing games with the establishment. Let's talk about it. What's going on, everybody? Thank you all so much for tuning into this live stream segment of Mikasa Sukasa. And of course, I am your humble host, Niko House. And here and on rockfin.com, we will be doing live updates of everything that took place last night and all the updates that follow today. If you have any issues with the streaming, as we will be live streaming a lot just because of the volume of information we're receiving, don't worry if there's a buffering issue, because YouTube doesn't like when you use the word rigging or election fraud. They don't like those words. Don't worry. We'll have those videos re-uploaded. If there is a buffering issue, they will be first re-uploaded on rockfin.com. You can see there's a link in the description. And of course, they will be uploaded again on YouTube. So with that being said, there is a new update. Okay. There is an update by Congress, or he's running for Congress. He's a Bernie-crat. And he said that he is hearing that the Sanders campaign sent workers to every caucus to record the live results, that the DNC was unaware of this. When their early tallies did not match the recorded results from campaign workers, his campaign had 5 lawyers contact the DNC. Now they're meeting, or at least I'm assuming he means they're in meetings, in and out of meetings. Now, this is consistent with the reports that I've heard from the campaign. I'm not sure about the whole 5 lawyers thing, but it is consistent, at least to the degree that we found out that there are people who were specifically put in charge of each individual precinct to record the results. And my assumption is, knowing the kind of person Bernie is, that they like to double check and triple check, it's highly likely that they had the precinct captains recording live results. And then, like, old-fashioned caucuses, they were also writing down results. And who knows? There's a great possibility that the precinct captains for Bernie's campaign didn't know that because they said they did cross tabulation. So they might not even known that there was another poll worker or poll observer that was there recording the same results to make sure that they got the most accurate results possible. And so if this is the case, that is 2 checks that Bernie Sanders put in place at each precinct. Now, I feel like it should be assumed that if they already called, so CNN said that they called Bernie Sanders into a meeting. The moment that they asked Bernie Sanders' team to come into a meeting with the Iowa Democratic Party, it should be automatically assumed that the lawyers were involved. That's just how it goes. I mean, at this very juncture, given everything we saw in 2016, given how they will gaslight you, say things, then change their mind, it would be honestly naive to not immediately bring your lawyers into the fold. And if that is the case, then ladies and gentlemen, it looks like Bernie Sanders was absolutely aware of what took place in 2016. And we got to give him a little bit more credit. All right, we do. We got to give him a little bit more credit. Now, granted, I wish his rhetoric on election integrity would more so reflect the likelihood of Democrats, rigging the elections, because he oftentimes focuses on Republicans. But it could be true that Bernie Sanders has been playing possum this entire time. One thing, once again, that you have to know about Bernie is he has never lost an election twice except for once in his career. That's when he first ran for office. He generally will lose once. Survey the field, figure out exactly how they tried to beat him or how they successfully beat him, and then he will put an extra amount of effort into addressing all of those issues, and then he eventually goes on to win by a significant margin. This has been historically true for Bernie since he was mayor of Burlington, then a representative for Vermont, and then, of course, in the U.S. Senate representing Vermont. So a lot of people suggested, like myself, that he probably conceded in 2016 because he had a grand scheme going forward. That included our revolution, for example. That included endorsing Hillary and campaigning for her so that he could keep the establishment off of his back. And some would even say that it included going along with the impeachment more than he probably felt he needed to go along with it. Now, some of these tactics I don't agree with. However, it seemed like he had already had a plan. And once again, Nina kind of made us privy to this plan by saying on status quo that the DNC is not going to get away with in 2020 what they did in 2016. And this is Nina, okay? Listen, y'all. If you don't know Nina Turner don't say things she don't mean. And that's everybody who knows Nina Turner, who's ever followed Nina Turner, y'all know this to be true. So if Nina said it, then it must be the gospel. That's what I'm taking it as until further notice. And Nina's never let me down before. I doubt she's just going to start letting me down now. So with this app that comes into play, ladies and gentlemen, you have an app where the precinct captains are verifying the results. Then you have the maybe, I don't know if this is a fact, this is yet to be 100% confirmed. This is speculation from the campaign that apparently this congressional candidate received, and then it's consistent with what I received last night as well. But basically, it looks like you had the precinct captain who was reporting, then on paper with their own results to make sure it was cross-tabulated as the initial email released by Nina Turner said it was. They had their own results probably written down to make sure that they were consistent, because you want to have proof. You want to have an overabundance of proof that you are, in fact, right as far as the results are concerned. So, and if they got their lawyers involved, that means one thing, ladies and gentlemen, and it cannot be taken lightly. Bernie Sanders was prepared for rigging. He was prepared for the rigging. Do you know how incredibly happy that makes me? Do you know how proud I am? Because for a long time, I didn't know that Jane 100% acknowledged it. I know that many people on his staff acknowledged it. Nina acknowledges it regularly. Tulsi obviously acknowledged it. At one point, the DNC even acknowledged it. Now, Bernie acknowledged it to the degree that Debbie Wasserman Schultz was involved, but not holistically and structurally like we would have liked them to. But once again, it could stand to reason that he did that on purpose. He might have played possum and lured the Democratic Party into a trap where he was able to keep this app under wraps for a year and some change now. Which is crazy, right? Because if you've ever listened to rap music, then you know there are rappers who can't even keep tracks on their album from leaking. This man had an app that could be the key to upholding democracy in the most important election in history, and he was able to not let it leak out of the campaign. That is incredibly impressive. Trap God, thanks very much for the super chat. And if that is the case, ladies and gentlemen, it doesn't matter who you support, right? Everybody knows I've endorsed Tulsi Gabbard. There are people who are firmly in the Yang camp, firmly in the Bernie camp. Hell, there might be people firmly in the Elizabeth Warren camp. But there is one thing for certain. The man who raised the most money through the most individual unique donations, over $1 million. He did not go spend that money on nonsensical consultants who are just overpaid fundraisers, which Bernie Sanders absolutely does not need. He spent that money. And it was kind of weird, right? 'Cause I was kind of asking like, damn, why is Bernie asking for so much money? They're good. They're straight. Millie Denny, thanks for the super chat. I was legitimately curious as to why Bernie was spending so much, or like trying to fundraise so much. It looks like he was trying to gain the technological advantage that his competitors simply could not get. Like don't get it twisted. Tulsi has done very well with her fundraising for a grassroots candidate, not completely unlike Bernie in 2016. She's doing the best she can with the resources she had. Yang is doing even better, but that's not going to buy you the type of technology, and not only that, but the people who can develop and monitor this technology. And then the people, the labor hours and labor power to go on the ground and monitor all these locations with not only precinct captains, but then observers in the precincts to record it. Like, that's a lot of money. And he made sure to use that money to ensure that our votes were not taken away from us. Our voices were not taken away from us. In 2016, the pain, the anguish, just the infuriating madness of the rigging that took place in 2016, he made sure that all of that was not in vain. That's what this shows me. That's what this shows me. And this is something I have been preaching about, Bernie, for quite some time. I said, look, man, we don't always have to agree with the methodology, but at the end of the day, Bernie is smarter than some will give him credit for. Doesn't mean everything he says is right. Doesn't mean that every action he takes is correct. But when it comes to what he is dealing with in the Democratic Party, he's smarter than what he gets credit for. He played ball this entire time and made them think that he just, there's no rigging. What? It's only the Republican Party. Yeah, it's definitely only the Republican Party who rigged elections. Yeah, yeah, okay, yeah, gotcha. Boom. Just like that. Bethlehem Tesfaye, thank you very, very much for the super chat. Me too, Niko. I'm so proud of Bernie. Yeah, I'm very proud of him. I'm very proud of the whole team that put that together, and whoever came up with that plan is absolutely genius. Nina warned the dark side that we wouldn't put up with this tune. Yes, she did. They better stop playing with my auntie. All right, you better stop playing with Nina Turnup. They're not playing with y'all. Bro, I'm telling you. Whenever I tweet, I'm not even joking. I tweeted out right as the update. I said, look, they talking about the results are inconsistent. I'm going to put it like this. If the results are inconsistent and they favored the establishment candidate overwhelmingly, hell, even slightly, then they would have just reported the results as they were, and Bernie would have had to fight to make sure that the correct results were put out, like fight with them to report corrections. This time, there clearly was overwhelming proof. And I said in my tweet, I bet that Bernie's team had an app that y'all didn't know about. And his app and his team had overwhelming results proving that he won. And y'all jumped the gun by trying to anoint Pete. And you're trying to cover your ass because guess what? There are way too many candidates. They probably pluck delegates from here, pluck delegates from there, pluck delegates from here, pluck delegates from there. Now you got to figure out how to put them all back. My only question would be, why is Elizabeth Warren not ringing the alarm on this more? Why is Joe Biden even not? Joe Biden might be out after this race. So he should be ringing the alarm on this. And my only thought could be that you are hoping that by being silent and capitulating to the establishment, that you will somehow benefit later on down the line from the rigging of the establishment or the rigging by the establishment. Warren should be just as loud because Warren's so close right now to Pete, according to Bernie's results, that you would think she would be screaming from the rooftops. Hey, we got to check this, verify, re-verify, because they're saying still that now they're saying that Buttigieg is in second place, followed by Warren. But there were some people suggesting that Warren was in second place. And then that she was almost in a dead heat with Buttigieg. It was all, at some point last night, New York Times reporting that Warren was in second, but they deleted all those results. When somebody picked up the phone and was like, got you. You ever get in trouble by your parents when you was young and your parents just call you and they pick up the phone? I'm on the way to the house. Your ass better be in that room when I get there. And you know you in trouble? Oh my God. They used to, They used to get I used to be scared, y'all. I ain't gonna lie. Lori Mountain Gal Pal. Thank you very much for appreciating the coverage. I much appreciate the super chat. Gladys Mosley, Niko, you called it on the app. Appreciate that, man. Yeah, we were way ahead on the app. Literally January of 2020, 2019, we were talking about this app. January of 2019. If you're new to this channel, there's one thing that you should know about us. Election integrity is something that we have never taken lightly. Ever, 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 ever. Everything that we say is barring it's barring election integrity, or talking about election integrity or acknowledging election integrity. But one thing that we will not do is pretend like election integrity is a partisan issue, because it is absolutely not. And so when we have been talking about this and the Nevada caucus since January, because our lovely supporters from those regions were blowing the whistle on this, sending us information in DMs, and because of you all, we were able to get the jump. And I had somebody higher from the Bernie campaign said they had actually heard in advance that Robbie Mook and the Clinton machine was behind the app. And so it looks like they thought that they were just rumors, but it looks like they over prepared just in case. And that is what we will need to win 2020. So thank you all so much for just always contributing and tagging us on Twitter and Facebook, sending us information via DM and in the comments. Like, we really, really appreciate it. As you know, we have a great team, but it is still a small team. So your research is just as important to us as the research that we do for ourselves, because we don't have an entire research team. We have ourselves, and we are doing our production, we're doing our own recording, our own editing, then doing our research, then taking care of our families on a budget. You know what I'm saying? Like, so we really, really appreciate you. Copernicus, thanks once again for the super chat. Pete the Cheat, hey, that's absolutely true. We're gonna talk about that too. So we have give me a second. I'm gonna post the link in the description. But I have a GoFundMe for my trip to New Hampshire. The MCSC crew is going to New Hampshire to make sure that there is no rigging taking place there. And if there is rigging, we want to make sure to report it. On top of that, we will be going to cover the rallies in New Hampshire for both Bernie Sanders and Tulsi Gabbard. We have 2 new super chats. Give me 1 second, I'll get to them. So I'm gonna post it in the live chat. If you can donate, anything would help. We're very, very close to our goal. I'm also gonna post this in the description, and it'll also be in the comment section as well. So Copernicus Thinker, thanks for the super chat. Sanders is Obi-Wan Kenobi lightsabering against the Darth Vader's dark side shadow corporation. Yep, he's holding it down for everybody. He really is. Like, the Sanders campaign, admittedly enough, might have just saved our democracy with that move. And that's not an exaggeration. If you understand the Iowa caucuses, everybody except for Bill Clinton, and it's only because the senator from Iowa was running in that race. Everybody except for Bill Clinton, if they won the Iowa caucus, they go on to win the nomination. So Bernie might have just saved democracy with that move. That's not even an exaggeration, bro. Oh man, I appreciate that. Thank you very much for the super chat. Much love. So I will be right back. Don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. Do not go anywhere. We'll be right back. We got some more breaking news from the Bernie campaign and from the Tulsi campaign. So stick around and we'll be right back. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and hit that notification bell if you like that segment of Mikasa Sukasa. Of course, if YouTube is giving you trouble, as it always does, you can download the Rockfin app and follow us there. Also, if you want to continue to help our show grow, you can help us reach our goal of 500 patrons on Patreon and donate as little as $1. Really, anything helps. Other than that, always remember, people, more than anything else, find your balance. Peace.